Via Skype by Lukhanyo Daweti. He is the South African Union of Students NEC member. As I said, he joins us now live via Skype. Good afternoon to you, Lukhanyo. Thank you so much for coming through. So we had the minister there indicating that he's had a number of meetings with SAUS. Your reaction to the briefing in general?
Thank you very much, Palisa. Good afternoon to the listeners and viewers of the SABC News. Yes, the minister is correct. He has been having an engagement with SAUS. Stemming from early as the beginning of the year in relation to everything that is concerning the sector. Even during this COVID-19, SAUS is part of the task team that is dealing with the challenges which are faced by the institutions within the higher learning.
All right,
so basically...
Okay, you can go on.
Palisa, yes. To be honest, from the side of the union, we are not happy entirely with the briefing by the minister this afternoon. The part that is very concerning from his address is around the issue of gadgets in particular. You would recall from his last briefing on the 23rd of May, he assured even the nation to say that by the beginning of June, the gadgets issue and the data issue would have been sorted. It was very surprising to us as the union that the minister would now announce to the media that they will be undertaking a procurement process which will require the additional 3 weeks, by the way, to even finish up this issue of gadgets.
But one could also say that he can be a bit fair here to say that they need to follow procurement processes. And we had the minister there emphasizing the fact that he wouldn't want to waste taxpayers' money. He would want accountability on the purchase and the procurement of this gadget. So what specifically does not make you happy here? Because he also went on to say that there are free websites that are available, educational websites that are available, yes, that students can still go onto in order to ensure that they do not get behind with their studies.
Yes, thanks, Palisa, for that. Palisa, one would argue that if the minister would have then anticipated that when he made the announcement, it was then irresponsible of him to make that promise that by the 1st of June, those gadgets would have been in place. Yes, we don't support the misuse of the taxpayers' money because we do believe that the taxpayers' money must be accounted for. But on the issue where he addresses and says that there are zero-rated sites, the students must use the cell phones. What about the students who does not even have the smartphones to access those zero-rated sites? What must they do in the meantime? Because the online learning, as I'm speaking to you, Palisa, has been continuing. Students have been submitting, students have been writing their online assessment. So what are we saying in particular to those particular students? Are we saying they will catch up later? If they will catch up later, where is that plan? Why is not announcing such a plan that will ensure that we know that if you are not catered for in this particular period where the online learning has started, then there will be a catch-up period that will be then afforded.
Maybe the question here should be, as you are representing the students themselves, what's the way forward here for those who do not have those gadgets? Are you going to be engaging the minister on this particular issue? What's the way forward as you say that online learning has been happening for a number of weeks now?
Of course, as the representative of the students in the country, we will be engaging the department so that we ensure that firstly we ascertain the number of the students which have been affected by this so-called online learning. Not that we're against it, because we do believe that the academic year has to be saved. But of course, it does not have to be saved at the expense of other students. So we have to engage the department in also engaging the USAF to ensure that these issues are being addressed. But I must highlight that from the address by the minister, there is some positive things that he has highlighted, particularly on the issue of N+2 or N rule of NSFAS, because one of the arguments that the union has been raising in terms of the decline of the appeal that has been happening was the fact that the decline has not been in specific in terms of trying to understand the matters which are affecting these students. So now we're happy to see that at least if you took a gap year, now the NSFAS will be able to relook into appeal. If you are a student you were affected by the medical conditions, that appeal will be looked at. If you are a final year student, by the way, but you have exceeded the N+ rule, but the government will be willing to assist you because you are already on the final year of your study. We take note of that, and we're happy as the union with that. But I must say that also in relation to the missing middle, Palisa, we would have expected the minister to make a bold announcement, because the reality of the matter is that if you are a missing middle, it means you are rich, you are richer to pay for your fees, but at the same time you are poorer to afford your fees fully. So now, in this current disjuncture that we're finding ourselves, which is COVID, which is new to everyone, we would have expected at least a linear approach which was going to assist this missing middle, even if it's in the form of data, so that if at least they are able to access their study material and so forth.
All right. Look, on your time constraints, I'm afraid we have to leave it at that. But thank you so much for coming through. This, of course, is an ongoing decision to see what happens with those who cannot afford to get